Sunday, those of the Christian faith stop, reflect, and renew our conviction in the most powerful tenet of our religious belief, that death is but a shadow, yet the soul lives on eternal. This tenet, also known as the blessed hope, is what Christians believe sets them apart from those of other or no religious persuasion. The idea, rooted in faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, cannot be measured by the tangible senses of touch, smell, taste, hearing, or sight. It can only be grasped and held by that inner belief and confidence in tomorrow. This belief is best summed up in the words of the angel to Mary when she came to the tomb to anoint the body of Jesus after his crucifixion and death. He's not here. He is risen. This Easter weekend, across the US of A, the world, there seems to be an effort by some to attack those of the Christian faith. There are those who profess to be Christians who are attempting to set up a kingdom on earth rather than waiting for the return of Christ to set up his kingdom. That first day of the week, when the female disciples went to the tomb of Jesus to anoint his body, one question filled their minds. Who will roll away the stone? A large stone had been placed at the entrance to the tomb, along with guards, to prevent the followers of the Nazarene from stealing away his body. The fear among those who rejected Jesus as the Messiah was that the disciples would proclaim that, true to his word, Jesus had risen from the dead. When the women arrived at the tomb, they found the guards were gone. They found the stone had been rolled away. My question to both Christian believers and non-believers is, have we placed a stone of our own making once more over the mouth of the tomb? Is it not time to allow the angel to roll away the stone? Are we the stones in the way? Remember, God was not the whirlwind. God was not the fire. God was that still, small voice. If as Christians we believe with God nothing is impossible, he will establish his kingdom in his time. When the apostles wanted to proclaim Jesus as king of an earthly kingdom, he told them his kingdom was not of this world. When Peter drew his sword and cut off the ear of the high priest's servant, Jesus ordered Peter to put away the sword. Jesus then healed the severed ear. It is time to roll away the stone we have placed at the mouth of his tomb. It is time to allow the other stones in our lives to be rolled away. It is time to stand and know that I am God, as he said to the psalmist. I know that I have been guilty of allowing or trying to keep the stone in place. Then I wonder why this or that happens, when if I get out of the way and allow the stone to be moved, joy waits in the morning. I recall nearly 30 years ago a sermon by my late stepfather, the Reverend Jack Olivehill, who went to his reward nearly a quarter of a century ago. Taking his text that Sunday morning from the story of the woman caught in the act of adultery, where Jesus said, "Let the person who is without sin cast the first stone." Pastor Jack challenged the congregation to leave the sanctuary and go to a small rock pile outside the front door of the Lighthouse Chapel. Pastor Jack asked each of us to pick a small rock from the pile, place the rock in our pocket, to remind us that each of us are but sinners who have found grace. Each time we are ready to cast a stumbling block, an aspiration to grab hold of that rock in our pocket and refrain from the negative and instead cast love. There are those, I know, who to this day are still carrying that rock to keep them out and on the straight and narrow. What about me? What about you? Is it not time to keep our rocks in our pocket and allow the stone preventing the new life from emerging to be rolled away? For those who are believers, I offer a prayer this weekend that your faith be renewed, your conviction made more resolute, and a desire that you will know by faith the power of the resurrection. For those of other faiths or no religious belief, but still pause to spend time in connection with family and friends, I offer a hearty, happy Easter. From the cornfield, to quote King David, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me."